It's 6:42 p.m. Rice is steaming on the table. Your child is supposed to be doing homework, but instead, he's tapping the pencil, spinning it, dropping it, picking it up again. You say, "Focus." He looks at you, nods. 2 seconds later, he's staring at the wall. You feel it rise in your chest. Confusion first, then irritation, because it doesn't look like he's trying. And the thought slips in quietly. Why is this so hard for him? This moment doesn't mean you're failing, and it doesn't mean your child is lazy. It means something deeper is missing. And it's not what most people think. What you're seeing isn't a discipline problem. It's not even a motivation problem. It's a capacity problem. Right now, 3 invisible limits are colliding. Self-control leads to he can't hold his attention steady for long. Working memory, he forgets what he's supposed to do mid-task. Learned helplessness, he's starting to believe, I can't do this anyway. So the brain does what all brains do under pressure. It escapes, not because it's weak, but because it's overloaded. Here's the part that changes everything. You can't fix this by saying focus louder, because focus isn't a command, it's a skill. In many Chinese households, this exact moment looks surprisingly calm. Not perfect, not robotic, but structured in a way that quietly builds those missing skills. They don't start with, finish your homework. They start with something else entirely. They build what's often called Dingli, the ability to stay steady, even when something is boring, repetitive, or difficult. Not talent, not intelligence, steadiness. Picture this. A child is sitting at a table, no screens, no background noise. They're copying a short passage, character by character, slowly, carefully. No one is rushing them, no one is turning it into a game. And here's what's strange. The parent doesn't interrupt, doesn't correct every mistake, doesn't hover, they just let the process happen. Because the goal isn't perfection, it's staying with the task. Now, flip the scene. A child is in the kitchen, water running, hands cold. They're washing vegetables. It's repetitive, quiet, nothing exciting is happening. No reward at the end, no praise every few seconds. Just doing and finishing. Another moment. A grandmother is teaching a child to fold dumplings. The first ones fall apart, the edges don't seal, the filling leaks out, the child sighs, frustration builds. You can see it on their face. This is where most parents step in and say, okay, let me do it. But here, they don't. They guide. They slow it down. They let the child struggle just enough and to figure it out. One dumpling works, then another, and something subtle happens. The child doesn't just learn how to fold, they learn they can stay through frustration. None of these look like learning activities, but they're doing something far more powerful than early academics. Here's the twist most parents don't expect. seconds, 5 seconds, let them sit in that space, then guide them, not rescue them, because that tiny gap is where their brain learns to stretch. And here's something most people misunderstand. Helping too quickly feels like love. But over time, it quietly teaches, I can't do hard things without you. That's how learned helplessness forms. Not from failure, but from being saved too often. So the next time your child drifts off mid-task, don't rush to correct. Don't rush to judge. And definitely don't label it as laziness. Pause. Look again. You're not seeing a child who refuses to focus. You're seeing a child whose focus is still under construction. This is workable. You're not stuck, and your child isn't stuck either. Shift the lens. Your child isn't someone who can't concentrate. They're someone learning how to stay, and staying is a skill that can be built, slowly, quietly, repeatedly. Because in the end, real learning power isn't about how fast your child starts. It's about how long they can remain, when things stop being easy,